Hi guys, it's Mark Zickery, Mr. Sci-Fi, also known as Mark Zickery of Space Command. And I've been so busy, I've been wanting to give you guys an update and clue you in, and it's been so challenging, so busy, that I can't go to my office. I can't show you all the great books that I normally show you. So I'm driving the car that was stolen and returned to me thanks to the LAPD and the West Hollywood Sheriff's Department. They caught the guy in my car. So now my car's been repainted and the dents are out, and the headlights are shined, and it's got really cool looking rims. So this is a great looking car now. So, but that is not what we're here to talk about. First of all, we're talking about the Kickstarter campaign for visual effects and post, and we've been up for less than a week, and we already have passed $52,000. Thank you, guys. Our initial goal was $45,000. Now, as you know, visual effects and post costs a lot of money, and particularly if you want quality. And so we don't have to spend as much as the big studios and networks. We don't have their crazy overhead. But just to put things in context, an hour of Star Trek Discovery costs $10 million, and an hour of Game of Thrones costs $15 million. And we're not nearly that expensive, but we shot the 2-hour pilot of Space Command. We shot 40 minutes of the second 2-hour story. It's a 12-hour season, which we're now pitching. Today I've met with 2 of my assistants to lay out the road ahead. Additionally, I was interviewed by 2 radio stations, and I think it was a radio station and a podcast. I think it was Sci-Fi.com, and a radio station in New Orleans. And then I met with Dave Madden at AMC. He's the head of Scripted, and he's going to look at Space Command. He wants to see the first half hour that we premiered at Comic-Con, and I'm going to be showing that at the World Science Fiction Convention in a few weeks. And additionally, I'm being flown tomorrow to the Star Trek Convention in Las Vegas, and we'll have a Space Command table, and I will be showing the Space Command half hour, probably in my room. And each evening, where people can just come and watch it with me, and we can talk about it. So, but the Space Command Kickstarter campaign is important. The more money we raise, the quicker we can get done, and the higher quality work we can have. Quality is always our benchmark, but it's just, it's that dance where, for instance, we showed the first half hour, we got all the scenes plugged in, we're still polishing, but I've hired Tobias Richter to redo the opening scene with Mira's spaceship and the Thomas Paine, just because, I want it to be better. And it's not bad. If you saw it on a TV show, it would come and go by you, and so forth, and be serviceable. Ron Thornton did that sequence with Gabriel Kerner, but Ron, of course, fell ill and died, sadly. And I'd known him ever since the Babylon 5 days. Actually, I knew him back when we did Captain Power together, and then on to Star Trek: The Next Generation and the Sulu episode, World Enough in Time. We worked on many things together, and he was an Emmy winner and a dear soul. But but we're continuing on. And we're ramping up to shoot more of the second Space Command episode. Selling shares, raising money, that makes it all happen. So if you'd like to buy a share in Space Command, you'll get a percentage of my producer's net profits on the first 4 episodes. It's a pretty good deal, only $7,500 a share. If you email me at markzickery@gmail.com or call me, I can send you the paperwork, and then it's $7,500 a share, and we'll stop selling shares once we sell the show. So if I send Dave Madden that half hour of Space Command tonight, and tomorrow he calls me and says, "We're buying Space Command," well, that'll be it for buying shares in Space Command. So just a word to the wise. But meantime, a lot is happening beyond that. So we're going to be showing the first hour of Space Command, premiering the first hour at the Drama Summit in London in November. So if you're based in England, you might want to come and see it there. Additionally, as I say, we'll be showing the first half hour at the World Science Fiction Convention in San Jose. Tried to contact DragonCon to show it there. They just kind of blew me off with a form letter. So if you're connected with DragonCon, contact them. I can still fly to Atlanta. And Ethan McDowell and Brian McClure, 2 of our stars, live in Atlanta. So we could have a hell of a panel and a screening if someone on programming at DragonCon just kind of got on the ball. Beyond that, lots happening. Mr. Sci-Fi is continuing to grow. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, probably be on Instagram at some point soon. But it really is the new model of the audience making the shows, the audience creating the shows and financing them and all of that. And because Space Command wouldn't exist without you. And so if you want to buy a share, that's great. If you want to donate to our campaign, there's lots of fun perks. Additionally, something I'm going to do soon, and I have to figure out when I'm going to do it. I have this idea, because we have a Patreon account, and I have an idea that if people put in a monthly amount on Patreon, I'll be writing 5 pages a day, 5 days a week, Some of it will be on the new book I'm writing about my friendship with Ray Bradbury. Some of it will be on the making of Space Command. Some of it will be new scripts for Space Command and other pilots and so forth for the showrunners network that I'm creating with Rockne O'Bannon and other showrunners. So you'd be basically getting, each week I would send the pages I'd written that week to those people who are ongoingly supporting me as patrons. And I just have to figure out how much to charge for that. But you would actually be in at the ground floor of my creative process. I remember years ago when my friend Harlan Ellison, who we lost just recently, he would go to bookstores and write and get a suggestion for a title, and then he would write a story in the window of the store. And as he was finishing pages and pulling them out of his typewriter, they would be posted on the wall, and you could walk down the wall and read the story as he was writing it. And he did that for a number of years, wrote many, many stories that way. And it was really cool. So I was just thinking of how can I engage more with my fan base, my audience, my friends and supporters. And now that the audience can literally support the creative product and the creative person, I want to even go further with how we're doing things. So that's some of it. A little bit of an update. If you're at the Star Trek convention, go find the Space Command table. And additionally, if you want to see the first half hour, go and pledge on Kickstarter. We're sending the link immediately. In a few weeks, a little down the road, we're going to release that half hour more widely. And because I want to gain hundreds of thousands or ideally millions of viewers of that half hour, because if we do that, those numbers are persuasive to a buyer. And I would love to see Space Command on Netflix or Amazon or the Apple Network, etc. So that's about it for now. It's great having you in my life. It's great having someone who believes in me and actually puts their money where their mouth is. I've really been enjoying all of these things that I'm working on, and again, the point is the compassion, reaching across boundaries and barriers to others who are the same as you in their heart, even if they're different in how they dress, what they say, what language they speak. It's very important that we reach across and create a future worth living in. And that was Gene Roddenberry's vision and Rod Serling's vision, and it's my vision too. And I was certainly inspired and mentored by the best in the business. And so that's about it for now. I quoted, well, I'll finish on this. When I was being interviewed today, I quoted something that Ray Bradbury said to me. And I don't think he ever wrote this. I never saw it in his writings, but he actually said it to me in conversation. And he said, looking back over a lifetime, you see that love was the answer to everything. And certainly I feel loved and supported, and I feel very blessed. I said in the interview that this is the best time of my life. I wouldn't go back to any other stage writing for the networks, the studios. I really love this dance we're doing, you and I, this amazing thing we're creating. So that's it for now. I'm going off to teach the class where I mentor writers and directors and producers and actors, and then tomorrow morning I get on a plane to Vegas, and off I go into Star Trek land. So that's about it for now. We'll talk really soon. Bye-bye.